Travis, my good soul. As over 1.2 million Ukrainian refugees have fled. And the majority of them are women and children, as the men stay behind to fight. We can guess that about 400,000 of them are women, and guess 200,000 are girls, underage girls. And Isaiah talks about this in regards to the latter days. I have to find it in Isaiah first if I'm going to find it in the Book of Mormon. So refuge. Yeah. Got it right off the bat. 2 Nephi 14 would be the comparable. And in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. And we learn in the previous verse, after talking about the tinkling girls of Zion who have baldness and are burned, it talks about thy men shall fall by the sword and thy mighty in war. And so remove the chapter, because the original text is just a straight carry on. And so thy men shall fall by the sword and thy mighty in the war, and her gates shall lament and mourn, and she being desolate shall sit upon the ground, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man. Take away our reproach. We're looking at 600,000 Ukrainian women who are now vulnerable and are potentially going to be exploited for their survival. As much as we would love to think that European nations will step in and make sure that they don't get human trafficked, sex trafficked, I found out that Wikipedia has its own Wikipedia page for Ukrainian human trafficking, as it's a major source to supply women and men for labor purposes around the world, even in the United States, even in Russia, etc. Even Israel, even in the UAE, even Europe, all over the world. Dear God. And I've warned you that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints wants to restore the kingdom of Deseret. And that they're in the works of restoring polygamy. That's why they're pushing the religious freedom movement, is so that they, as a religious entity, can do whatever they want and claim religious freedom from any law. And Nelson, back in 2019, changed the temple text for the law of chastity to allow for polygamy. And the trust in the Lord slogan, Nelson had the covenant path. Well, now they're pushing trust in the Lord, especially on children. and the children's thing with the theme, Trust in the Lord, kids. Yeah, where did that come from? Oaks! In his talk that October 2019, talking first about a woman who sent him a letter saying, I'm getting married to a guy whose wife had previously died, and I was wondering, am I going to have my own mansion in the celestial kingdom? And he chuckles, and it's funny. Oh, polygamy is so funny. Oh, trust in the Lord. And so trust in the Lord is associated with polygamy. When you see the church talk about trusting in the Lord now, you have to associate it with polygamy. And so when you see it being used with kids and with women, you should be concerned and know it has to do with polygamy. And I've exposed, as the church has destroyed me for exposing it. I'm basically still alive because I had a supply of necessities prior to my destruction. You know, you guys, you buy toothpaste when you need it. Me, I buy a supply of toothpaste. I'm Mormon, born and raised. Have a supply of provisions. And so when you guys were looking for toilet paper, I already had a supply of toilet paper. And so now, I just watch as my supply dwindles down and I can't replace it and top it off. But nonetheless, I expose that the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints is purposely involved in causing this war for the sole purpose of taking over the governments of the world and restoring their kingdom where they rule. That was not Joseph Smith's plan. He just wanted a place for Mormons to be safe during this time that he knew about and wrote he didn't write it. Sidney Rigdon wrote it to warn us of this day and time. And so I'm sure the church is drooling right now. Because when you have the men die in war, and the governments of the world destroyed, and the church is established as their own kingdom, as they have land all over the world to claim government rulership in each land now, that's what they're doing, having dominion over all the face of the earth. That's the great and abominable church. It's everywhere. They own land all over the world. They own the world. Now they just need to get rid of the government so that they can rule. And you've got millions, when this is all over with, of women with no man to take away their reproach. What do you think the church is going to do then? See, I'm yelling at my screen in horror of what's coming as I keep warning you. And I keep getting YouTube standing as the shield of the church to give me a whole new viewership, because the old viewership has been murdered. The old viewership is gone, and I'm having to build up my viewership again. Because if you notice, I have hundreds of subscribers, over 500 subscribers. And yet, 40 views on average per video. At least I'm getting breakout videos lately. It's been a long while since I've had a breakout video. But again, they're selected breakout videos, I noticed. It's like one video becomes a breakout video, and then it dies, and then another video becomes a breakout video, and then another, and they're further back in time. They're not recent videos that I'm doing. Those don't get to be breakout videos. But yeah, this is the horror that's coming, guys. If you think that you're going to get a whole bunch of women, if you're male and Mormon, because you're Mormon and you're male, you're going to get a whole bunch of women to have sex with, and they'll be forced to have sex with you, and they won't be able to leave because there's no other guy for them. You got another thing coming. The prophets will get first pick. See, because they've already set it up. Those who are in leadership authority get the first picks. We saw that with the FLDS church. All of the boys, yeah, you don't get these girls your age. They're ours now. We're the creepy old men who get these little jailbait girls now, and you get nothing. Oh, you're complaining? Oh, you're excommunicated. Bye-bye. And they become the Lost Boys, which we all know about here in Utah, and has gone nationwide as to that situation. And they get involved in sex trafficking and child labor and criminal activity because they need to survive. That's all from Brigham Young. And that's what the church under Nelson, under Oaks, is drooling to get back. Nelson, when he was talking in Virginia, was trying to claim that the United States violated the church's religious freedom by taking away the right to practice polygamy. It was a crime. It still is a crime. And thus their push to overthrow the government, if not get laws passed in case the governments don't fall. I want to cry, because the church thinks that because what they've done to me will discredit me in your eyes, they think that they're protected. Though they're still pissed that I keep coming out with videos exposing them.